A cordial greeting. Today is Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. In this video, I would like to talk about the potential for cyclonic development in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. This forecast is of special interest to the southern Gulf states, especially the state of Florida, as a tropical cyclone could develop in the Gulf of Mexico over the next 7 days. In the long term, this system may move northeast and could eventually threaten parts of Florida. However, this is a long-term forecast, and much can change in the coming days. Before talking about the Gulf of Mexico region, I wanted to mention that Tropical Storm Kirk has strengthened into a hurricane and is projected to continue intensifying into a major hurricane. Fortunately, it will remain on a path over open Atlantic waters. Similarly, Invest 91 is projected to develop into Tropical Storm Leslie and eventually into a powerful hurricane that seems likely to follow a path similar to Hurricane Kirk. For the moment, there is no cyclonic threat to the Caribbean Sea, though we will remain alert to other tropical waves coming from Africa. Let's now focus on the Gulf of Mexico, where we currently have areas of thunderstorms that remain disorganized, and also a trough located in the northwestern Caribbean Sea. In the coming days, we will see complex interactions in the Gulf of Mexico waters, and the circulation and energy associated with Tropical Depression number 11 from the Pacific is expected to move northward. Conditions may be marginally favorable for cyclonic development. This is why the National Hurricane Center continues to mark this area with a 40% chance of cyclonic development. It's important for residents in the southeastern United States to closely monitor the evolution of this forecast in the coming days. Remember that sea surface temperatures across the Gulf of Mexico remain above normal, which may help in the development of a tropical cyclone. However, it is important to mention that strong wind shear from the west will be moving over the northern Gulf of Mexico waters, so any disturbance that develops in this area will likely face challenges from this wind shear at some point. But let's look at the latest projections from global models. Here we have the American model, the GFS. During the afternoon or evening hours on Thursday, it shows the remnants of Tropical Depression number 11, acquiring some organization over the Bay of Campeche, and eventually developing into a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico. In its latest run, this model strengthens this low pressure into a strong tropical storm or hurricane, as it approaches or moves over the state of Florida between Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. However, it is worth mentioning that this model has been quite inconsistent in its forecast, which is completely normal for long-term forecasts. There is much to observe, and for now, Florida residents should not be worried. Just stay alert, especially over the weekend. Another scenario, for example, is shown by the European model. It also has the remnants of Tropical Depression number 11 reaching the Gulf of Mexico. But unlike the American model, the European model keeps the circulation quite elongated and weak, so in the long term, it does not develop a tropical cyclone. However, it does promise to bring significant rainfall to parts of Florida. The German model also develops a tropical depression or tropical storm over the weekend in Gulf of Mexico waters, maintaining a northeastward trajectory. In general, we have a lot of uncertainty. Here we have the ensemble members of the GFS model, showing different scenarios, and we can clearly see why we don't know if cyclonic development will occur or what path any cyclone that develops in this area will take. Some members keep it quite weak, others show a tropical depression, and others show a stronger system, potentially a tropical storm by the weekend. We will definitely have a clearer picture by then. This uncertainty is also seen in the ensemble members of the European model. While most members keep this system very weak, we still have some members that develop a tropical storm. Regardless of whether a tropical cyclone develops, a very active period of rainfall is expected to move over much of Florida. For example, in about 7 to 9 days, projected rainfall accumulations could range from 4 to 11 inches, potentially affecting Florida or the southeastern United States. The same is true for the European model projection, which also shows significant rainfall accumulations in the Gulf of Mexico. And this rain could eventually affect Florida depending on whether a tropical cyclone develops and what path it takes. There is much to observe in the coming days. However, there is no reason to worry for now. Stay vigilant regarding the remnants of Tropical Depression number 11 to see if it finally reorganizes cyclonically in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, that's all for this video. Tomorrow morning, I will be updating the forecast related to Hurricane Kirk and future tropical storm Leslie. I hope you all have a great night. See you tomorrow.